My name is Dianne Heesom-Green, and about 30 years ago we started visiting Paternoster. We became weekenders, as most people do, after seeing this beautiful village. The end result was that I found it difficult returning to Cape Town. So moved here about 25 years ago. My two youngest children went to Vredenburg schools, and yeah, I just love the village and the people, and so much enjoy living here. When I came to the West Coast, obviously you try and make a garden. Fell miserably because of our environment and the soil, the wind, the onshore wind, the offshore wind, the salt in the air. So I learned a few hard lessons about gardening, and now I know what grows and what doesn't grow. With all the buildings going on, there are a lot of denuded areas as people came into the village. So I started beautifying, adding plants, just water-wise, Paternoster friendly plants. And started with all the gardens around me and my stonefish studio, just putting plants in open spaces, fruit trees where they'll grow. Pomegranates grow very well here. Lavender, that sort of thing. Not necessarily indigenous, trying to keep to indigenous, but definitely water-wise. And that follows our seasons. It turned from just me poking plants into the soil to actually getting a group together. Started about 6 months officially when a friend from England said, oh, they do guerrilla gardening over there, which is pretty much what I'm doing here. I said, oh, that's interesting. So I looked into what it was, and it's where groups of people just come together and make gardens and use plants to beautify a public area, a local area. So it's gardening in a land that's not your own. And then with the help of one or two people, they said, oh, that's a fantastic idea. I want to sponsor your gardener. And the fisheries asked me to do an area and then offered me 2 workers. So, and then a group called Refresh started in the village, and they allowed me a platform in which to ask for plants and more help and more donations. And that's when it kind of springboarded. I've made a Facebook page. Be sure to visit and like it, and you'll see what we've done. Guerrilla Gardening Paternoster. My first aim is small businesses within the village, small business owners, and fishermen's cottages. So that's where we're starting, with people who can't do a garden but have always wanted one. The magic is we bring in soil and compost. That's a magic ingredient. And a lot of the fishermen's wives have a long history of gardening. They'll tell you about their grannies who used to garden. But it's become more difficult over the years. The whole community of Paternoster have come together. It's been wonderful. People with established gardens have donated plants. People have donated compost, which is essential. The fisheries have come in. I have the use of their bucky and the guys who are so enthusiastic. We have local Paternosters asking us, can you do our garden? So we've spread from St. Augustine Road. We're now doing Klipbrug. We hope to go to Hopland. And the ultimate goal for me is that everybody has a garden they can interact with, eat out of, be proud of, maintain, and maybe even a garden competition this time next year, who knows. Compost has always been a thing. We need loads and loads and loads of it. The sand's very poor. It's actually from when the sea receded and just left us sand. And it's been amazing. The restaurants have got on board. We're starting a composting section, and the restaurants are all going to collect buckets of vegetable peelings, eggshells, stuff like that. And we're defining a compost area where recyclable material can be turned into compost, which is fantastic. Another idea that has come to Justin and I, who's kind of the right-hand man, Justin Farrow, his knowledge of plants is amazing, so he's helping a lot with knowledge on propagation and plants, and he's a local. And
That's
Hedwig,
like you.
her knowledge of plants and edible plants is
Oh,
amazing.
yes, Hedwig as well.
So she's given us books, and we're trying to share the knowledge with the homeowner on what to plant and how you can use it. A lot of our plants are indigenous, edible, medicinal. So we hope to bring that aspect back in. And another thing we want to do is, for example, Esther, who's over 80. We've done her a beautiful garden. She's so proud of it. But we noticed that her house needs a paint. So wouldn't it be fantastic if other local people got involved, builders got involved, and we can always put a coat of paint on some of the homes where the homeowner can't afford or can't do it themselves. So that's a little branch off that we're hoping to introduce.